Hello, Magic the Gathering players. This is Anditesh Ordo. Today, I'm going to be doing the rest of Rivals of Ixalan, the full set, the rest of the set review. Plus, I did notice a few cards did come up on the 4th of January, and I will cover those after my recording. So yeah, let's get into it. Traveler's Amulet is back. Not going to talk much about that. Any reprints, I'm just going to kind of skim over. I'm just going to mention their name and go. Blazing Hope, 1 mana instant, exile target creature with power greater than or equal to your life total. Wait, what? Greater than or equal to your life total? Wow. So if your life total is low, you could start killing some stuff, but I don't know. I don't know how that one work. Cleansing Ray destroys an artifact or destroys a vampire or an enchantment. They could have also given the artifact option as well. I think that would have been nice. But, yeah, it's okay. Divine Verdict. We've had that card before. Ixalan Sky Marcher, 3 mana, 2/3 flying. So it's a white version of... a white, very weak version of Nighthawk. Doesn't really do anything. Actually, they already have the white version of a Nighthawk, and it's a dwarf that flies. So this is just it's a decent popper card. I will say that. 3 mana, 2/3 flying for popper. That's probably where it's going to sit at. Legion Conquistador, 3 mana, 2/2. Here's the battlefield. I'm going to search your library for any number of cards named Legion Conquistador. Reveal and put it in your hand. So it's another Squad Hawk, but for 3 mana. I wouldn't mind seeing a cycle completion of Squadron Hawk, but for other colors. I think that would be kind of a cool effect. Other colors and an artifact version. Artifact or colorless, one of the two. The reason being is I think it'd be kind of cool to see maybe a 2 mana 1/1 bat that flies. 2 mana 1/1 flying squirrel maybe for green. Yeah, thumbs up for that. Illusion, or there's a lot of things for blue. Bird, another bird. White and blue get birds. Then again, in the past they had birds. So, and then let's see, black was bat. So red would be, actually I think it'd be kind of nice to actually have these type of a cycle of Squadron Hawk completed. It's an opinion. It's a thought. So, but anyways, Luminous Bonds, 3 mana. It's just a pacifism. It's a weaker pacifism. Costs too much. Pacifism. They should just reprint pacifism in this instance. It would have just done just as well, but better. Whenever Majestic Heliotropus, when it attacks another target dinosaur you control gains flying, so it just boosts dinosaurs. Martyr of Dusk, 2 mana 2/1. When it dies, create a 1/1 vampire token. Raptor Companion, 2 mana 3/1. It's just one of those vanilla 2 mana 3/1s that happen to go in every set. So we got a cat. There's just a lot of different types. Snubhorn Sentry, 1 mana 0/3 Ascend. And if it's ascended, it's a 1 mana 3/3. So that's just simple vanilla. For a token strategy and popper, it wouldn't be too bad. Because, you know, at least by turn 5 or 6, you might be able to have, 10, if you control, you have 10 permanents, so. 2 mana, 2/2 Vigilance. It's meh. Sun Sentinel, Human Soldier. Mist Cloak Herald. 1 mana 1/1, can't be blocked. Nothing too much there. Sailor of Means, 3 mana 1/4. Enters the battlefield. Create a colorless treasure. You sacrifice this artifact. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So, Siren Reaver. It raids. Costs 1 less to cast if you attacked already. So it'd be a 3 mana 3/2 flyer. It's not too bad, but it's not great. 5 mana 3/2 flying hexproof. Soul of Rapids. Not much to talk about him. I don't know if Popper would pick this up because I think there's already a 5 mana 4/4 flyer, but it might be optional. That's a 1/of, then you could start enchanting it with pump spells. Spire Wanderer, 4 mana 2/3 flying ascend. As long as it's ascended, gets +1/+1. 2 mana, 1/3 merfolk. We have multiple different types of merfolks. They just have to keep creating different names, so it just changes the flavor. Water Knot, 3 mana. There's battlefield, tap an enchanted creature, and then it doesn't untap. So we have a lot of different versions of Water Knot. Nothing too exciting about that card. 5 mana, 5/3. We already have a zombie of this. So now we have the Canal Monitor. It's a lizard. A monitor? Okay, I don't get that, but yeah. Some of these names are really interesting and unique with Magic. And that's the one thing I do like about Magic is the names and the art, and then just the gameplay. Darking Inquiry, 3 mana. It's a thought seized without the loss of 2 life, but it's common. And I think Mind Rot is better in this instance, because you're hitting them with 2 cards, so they'd end up discarding land if they need to. Especially if they're on the last 2 cards. Mind Rot's still better. The Mind Rot cards are still better. Grasping Scoundrel, 1 mana, 1/1. Gets +1/+0 as long as it's attacking. It's a human pirate. Could have been a human pirate rogue. I think it would have been kind of cool. But I think all the rogues of this set are basically translated into pirates. So you got pirates, rogues. They have some similar feel to them, except a lot of the rogues are mostly blue-black and pirates are blue-black-red. Impale, 4 mana, destroy target creature. I think this would be better if it was... I think it would just be better if it was in Murder. Or they made Impale like Murder. Reminds me of the scene in... yeah, I've seen it. I don't care for the show, Frozen. But I think to me the best scene ever is when Olaf gets impaled by the ice. Oh, look, I've been impaled. And he's like all casual about it. Because he's a snowman. Reaver Ambush. Exile target creature with power 3 or less. I don't know why this isn't common. It makes sense to be a common. Unless it was kind of like Smother and it's a 2 mana cost. So, I don't know. I think Smother would be a better fit in that spot. But I know, kill spells nowadays are, usually high costed. And I think Smother actually would fit better because even though it's a black spell, dinosaur, stepping and smothering a creature makes sense, or a pirate doing some sort of smothering effect would make sense as well. So, Recover is a reprint from the Time Spiral block, I believe it is. Sadistic Sky Marcher. We have a Merfolk. I think they did a cycle for like Dinosaur and Pirate. But we got a Vampire as well. 3 mana, 2/2, Flying Lifelink. That's great. And then additional casting cost. You reveal a Vampire, pay an extra mana. I feel like this would have been better if it was a 2 mana with that. Then it turns it into a 3 mana. Just to me it makes sense, but it's whatever. Vampire Revenant. 4 mana, 3/1 flying. Meh. Not much to talk about that one. A lot of these cards I'm not talking about because they're just meh cards to me. Voracious Vampire, 3 mana, 2/2. Menace, enters the battlefield. Target vampire gets +1/+1 and gains menace till end of turn. So, just when it enters the battlefield. Bombard. That's kind of a cool effect. 3 mana, deal 4 damage to target creature. It's an instant. Not much to talk about it. Pauper may pick it up as a 1 or 2 of. A 1 of, if that. I think they'd rather pay 1 at sorcery speed over 3 mana instant speed. If this was 2 mana instant speed, that'd be a different story. Also, if this was 3 mana instant speed and also dealt 4 damage to a creature or player, or at least a creature and planeswalker, it would make a little better. It would just be better. Brazen Freebooter, 4 mana, 3/3. There's battlefield with a treasure. Not too much out of that. A lot of these are just really good in limited formats and drafts. You're gonna, pick some of these, like Bombard Draft. That's definitely a worthwhile card to pick. A lot of the toughness of creatures, except dinosaurs, are gonna be, and if you can make a good red dinosaur deck, mono red dinosaur deck, more power to you. Then you want to really pick a lot of Bombards. Goblin Trailblazer, 2 mana, 2/1 Goblin Pirate with Menace. Not much to say about that. Needletooth Raptor. It has Enrage. Whenever it's dealt damage, it deals 5 damage to target creature and opponent controls. So it's a way to destroy creatures. They've already have dinosaurs in the set like that, so we'll get to see more. The Orzica Raptor, 4 mana, 3/4. Nothing much. It's just like a regular ogre, but with an extra toughness. Draft worthy, yes. Shake the Foundations, 3 mana. Deals 1 damage to each creature without flying, and then you draw a card. So it's instant speed, but it's meh. Shatter, destroy target artifact, meh. I will say at this point, I've already went through the rest of these. I feel like there is a missing card that would have been a great card in both Ixalan sets. Both in one or the other Ixalan sets, or one of the Kaladesh in the Kaladesh block, Ixalan block or Kaladesh block, and that would have been a reprint of Hull Breach. You're breaching a hull. What do ships have? They have hulls. Breach the hull. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, or destroy target artifact and enchantment is kind of the essential effect of the card, and I feel like that would have been a good card, you know, at least for standard sideboards for red-green. Because, you know, you're breaching the hull of a ship. So, that's a card I wish would have been reprinted, but it wasn't. So, moving on. Tenolia's Crown, 2 mana. When it enters the battlefield, does 1 damage to target creature or enchanted creature. So, another card that helps Enrage. And then enchanted creature gets +3/+1 on trample. So, it's definitely going to help Enrage effects in limited. Standard, maybe? Modern, definitely not, because there's some better cards in Modern that at least, you know, deals damage to everything. I'm not even pronouncing this. A 4 mana 2/5 Enrage. Whenever it's dealt damage, untap a permanent. Whenever it's enraged, untap a permanent. I am angry! I'm gonna help my team out instead of attacking you. A lot of the red dinosaurs like dealing damage. Colossal Dreadmaw, 6 mana, 6/6 trample. Just a vanilla 6 mana, 6/6 trample. Back in the day, about 10 years ago, if they made a 6 mana, 6/6, it'd have to be a uncommon or rare. But now they just make them as commons. So, like, this is a good... I could see this being a decent card in Pauper as a 1 or 2 of, in, like, maybe an elf deck. This card or any of the other cards that are like it, so that you can pump your mana into it, and attack with at least 2 big creatures. Other than just swarming the board, you also have 2 creatures that can beat down really heavily. So, at least that's what I would do with an elf deck of mine. 1 or 2 of, nothing more. Crested Herd Caller, 5 mana, 3/3 trample. There's a battlefield, create a 3/3 dinosaur with trample. That's not bad, so it comes in with a 6 power for 5 mana. It might actually see a commander play, but there's a lot of dinosaurs to pick from, so we'll see how that works out. Here's some more Merfolk. Jadebearer, 1 mana, 1/1. There's battlefield, +1/+1 counter on it, or another target Merfolk you control. So it just gets itself bigger on target. Oh wait, +1/+1 counter on another target Merfolk you control. So it is definitely a viable. They might even make a green Pauper freaking Merfolk deck. There's just a lot of Merfolk that come out of this block. It's crazy. 4 mana, 3/3, enters the battlefield. Target creature gets +2/+2 until turn. Just a simple end of the battlefield effect. Jungleborn Pioneer, 3 mana, 2/2. Enters the battlefield. You create a 1/1 blue Merfolk with hexproof token. Sweet. So at least you get 3 power for 3 mana. Frillback, Frillback, 3 mana, 4/2. Just a vanilla creature. Nothing too exciting. Hey, they brought back Plummet. Anyways, moving on. Overgrown Armsar, 5 mana, 4/4. Whenever it's enraged, create a 1/1 green Saproling token. Oh, so they have Saprolings on this block in this plane. I was gonna say planet, but planet, plane, whatever. Still not bad. Strength of the Pact, 6 mana. Put 2/+1/+1 counters on each creature you control. That's really good. The downside, the craziness of this card is if it was in Pauper, and I know it's not going to be, but if it was in Pauper, that would be like a huge card. Like Elf decks would pick a play setup. Because all you have to do is, you know, ramp up as much creatures as you can, and then once you get to 6 mana, boom, everything's bigger. You're like, what are you looking at now? But they won't ever do that. Orska Relic, 3 mana. It adds a colorless. And once it's ascended, you sacrifice it, you gain 3 life, and draw a card. It's not bad. It's definitely going to be used as a budget commander mana rock in some sets. Or in some decks, so we'll definitely see it for sure. We got 5 enemy dual-colored lands that are uncommon. Enter the battlefield tapped. They make commons that gain you life. I don't get the concept unless they needed uncommons so they could. I guess these cards are basically common and uncommon interlinking because in 8th and 9th edition they had those uncommon ones that were ally colored. So, yeah, we'll see how they all work out. This is a lot. Strider Harness, 3 mana. Equipment. Equip creature gets +1/+1 haste. Meh. It's just a simple equipment. Well, a lot of these cards are just limited. All-Stars are just limited picks late game. Has haste as long as you control another dinosaur. Cool. Squire's Devotion, 3 mana. Gets +1/+1 lifelink. Here's the battlefield. Create a 1/1... lifelink white vampire. So get some creatures there. Slippery Scoundrel, 3 mana 2/2. Ascend. As long as you ascended, it has hexproof and can't be blocked. Hexproof and unblockable. There you go. I don't know why they changed that, but whatever. Sea Red. Chant creature goes +2/+1 a first strike. At the beginning of the end step, if you didn't attack with the creature this turn, sacrifice Sea Red. So you have to make sure you attack to keep this. So just make sure you don't throw it on a creature that just barely came into the battlefield, because it would just be a waste of card. 4 mana 2/2, enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards, then put the 2 cards from your hand on top of your library. Whoa. It's a 4 mana 2/2 merfolk that brainstorms. You brainstorm with this card. That's kind of cool. I will admit, this might be an actual commander card that'll be used in some merfolk decks, especially it's a merfolk wizard. It's a wizard. There you go. You're a wizard, Harry. Yeah. Anyways, Relentless Raptor, 2 mana, 3/3 vigilance. It has to attack or block each combat if able. So that's nice. So you just pump this up, make it indestructible, make it not have counters on it. You got a really good blocker. Or attacker. Reckless Rage, 1 mana. Deals 4 damage to target creature you don't control and 2 damage to target creature you do control. Okay, so this helps with Enrage for 1. It's not like Shock where, you know, you can at least deal damage to a player or a planeswalker. But it's still very viable. It's good for dinosaur decks. It's definitely good for dinosaur decks. So we'll definitely see this in Pauper, or not Pauper, Modern, or I mean not Modern, Standard. Got to go through every set. And actually, it sounds weird because you don't ever see Bolt in Commander, but this might be a very viable card in Commander, especially if you like with the Enrage mechanic. I would say one of the best cards you should be running, especially since it's a Naya deck. You can run Boros Reckoner, I think it's Spirit Mare, and then Stuffy Doll. So you get added effects for, you know, dealing 1 damage to every creature. So it's essentially they have Enrage too in a sense. Oathsworn Vampire, 2 mana 2/2, and it's tapped. You may cast it from your graveyard if you gain life this turn. So you gain some life, you keep getting this 2/2 back, but it always comes into play tapped. Downside on that part. Moment of Triumph, 1 mana. Target creature gets +2/+2, and you gain 2 life. Till end turn. So Mausoleum Harpy. Here and there we get harpies in every other set or so. 5 mana 3/3. Flying. Whenever another creature and you control dies, you may have, and if you've ascended, put a +1/+1 counter on this. So it just gets bigger every turn. Knight of the Stampede, 4 mana 2/4. Dinosaur spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Okay, that's a simple card. It's definitely going to be picked up in dinosaur decks. Kitetail Corsair. 2 mana, 2/1, has flying as long as it's attacking. So you attack, it has flying. That's just a simple meh card for sure. No. I had something pop up. 5 mana, 3/5, enrage. Whenever it's enraged, you gain 2 life. So you can gain some life off of that. Hunt the Weak. It's a fight card. Simple fight card. Hardy Veteran gets +0/+2 as long as it's your turn. So it essentially they can't bolt it on your turn in a sense or kill it with a burn spell. Gruesome Fate, 3 mana. Each opponent loses 1 life for each creature you control. So it sounds weird, but I think one of these would not be too bad in a modern tokens deck. Because you're draining them for like 4, 5, 6 life. It's not too bad. And then you could probably finish them off with tokens in the air. But probably not. Probably won't be. We don't know. We'll see. Gilt Grove Stalker, 2 mana, 2/1. Can't be blocked by creatures power 2 or less. Okay. Fathom Fleet Border, 3 mana, 3/3. This battlefield, you lose 2 life unless you control another pirate. Man, this one's taking a while. I'm trying to hurry through it. Because a lot of these cards are just going to be easily not played much. Other than limited. Expel of Orska. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you've ascended, you may put that permanent on top of its owner's library instead. It's not too bad. So you bounce something and then you put it on the top so they don't get a good actual draw. Slows them down even more. Everdawn Champion, 3 mana, 2/2. Prevent all combat damage would be dealt to it. It's one of those type of creatures. I know standard it'll be used quite a bit. You just pump it off its toughness and then you could just keep blocking with it forever. Curious Obsession, 1 mana. Enchanted creatures +1/+1 and has whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. Okay, and then at the beginning of your end step, if you didn't attack with it, sacrifice this. So it's part of a cycle. Crashing Tide has flash as long as you control Merfolk. So basically turns it into an instant. Return target creature to its owner's hand, draw a card. Limited, for sure. Ooh, we're getting down to the wire. This is good. Charging Tuscadon, 5 mana, 4/4 trample. Would deal combat damage to a player. Deals double damage to that player instead. Not bad. Definitely worthy for a commander deck. Standard and limited, maybe. But I think there's a lot better dinosaurs with 5 mana. But budget-wise, that's a budget option. Aggressive Urge, 2 mana. You pump a creature until end of turn, +1/+1, and then draw a card. Simple card. Pride of Conquistadors, 2 mana, ascend. Creatures you control have +1/+1, unless you've ascended, then it gets +2/+2. Stormfleet Swashbuckler, 2 mana, 2/2. As long as, basically, if you've ascended, this creature has double strike. Basic lands, meh. I think I did the Twilight Prophet. So last 2 cards had as Climb, 3 mana. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then if that creature has 3 or more +1/+1 counters, you transform it. Add a mana to your mana pool of any color, or you pay 3 and you pump a creature. It gets flying and then +X/+X, where X is its power. So it's a really good land. So I'm glad we've gotten a lot of these type of lands, transforming lands. So Wayward Sabertooth, 3 mana, 5/5. You can play an additional land on each of your turns, so it's a way to ramp a little faster. And then as long as it can't attack or block unless you've ascended, so it's not too bad. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this whole set in the comments below. What did you like about Rivals of Ixalan? We have, what does it say, 197 and 196? That's weird. But yeah, let me know again in the comments below what you like about this set. Yeah, I actually like a lot of the cards. Like, one of my favorite cards. I don't know what card came up, but One of my favorite cards that I actually like is Blood Sun, the kind of similar card to Blood Moon. So I hope it gets a lot of play like Blood Moon. It's definitely, I feel like that's a standard version of Blood Moon. So I'm sure core sets will keep Blood Sun in. Some core sets here and there. I think that would be a great help to control some decks and may get out of hand in the future. So let me know what you guys, I do appreciate all you guys watching the video. I know it was a longer video than most, but then again, when you have like 40, 50 cards dropped, yeah, you got to kind of rush through. Well, not 100% rush, but I'd like to at least not take up a lot of people's time. I still like, you know, having people watch. I do appreciate it again. So yeah, you guys enjoy your day, and again, thanks for watching.